What up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with your 5 Minute Forge. We've been talking a lot about different views, and here's what I want to give you. We were just on the America side of Niagara Falls. We cruised over here to the Canada side of Niagara Falls. If you want to talk about getting a different view, I'm going to tell you this right here is a different view. From the American side, see the actual falls from the top end, which is pretty cool to see them. You would see them from a raft coming off of it. But from the Canada side, you see so much more. You see what the falls actually run into. You see where they're coming from. From the horseshoe one over there, you don't just see the stem, see it, right? You see everything, not just the mist from it. From the other ones that you see in the first videos that I shot, they're over there. Now, as leaders, we want to talk a little bit about changing views. And when you change views, you do a few things. One thing is you allow yourself to see the greatness of what you just created. So here's it. If you haven't been changing your view, if you've only been looking at it, if you've only been looking at it from one point of view, you need to change, because here's it. If you don't ever change your view, you're never going to see that greatness. You're never going to see that magnitude. You're never going to see that right there. And here's the other thing. If you zoom in on that, let's see if I can zoom in on it. Hold on. Just trying. You were to zoom in on that right there, and you look at all those rocks. You couldn't see that from the other end. You could not see those rocks at all from the other end. Now, if you're not watching this video, you're listening to our podcast, you should be watching this 5 Minute Forge on YouTube or one of my other channels, Real Dan Greer. All right. Now, if you don't see that and you're like, oh, we can go over it, no problem. What happens when you go over that? Right? Major catastrophe. But if you look at it and you see those rocks, you can be like, hey, we need to go over on this far side if we're going to go over this. Or what if we just took the load out and walked it down the hill? Right? What if we built a bridge over this? You see what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of things that you can do with it. But if you don't change your view, you don't see that. You know, we've talked a lot about this. Gone a lot of different directions with changing your view and moving in different ways. But this is probably one of the best examples I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay? It's just the simple magnitude of being able to change without seeing these. From the America side, the falls look amazing. It's so cool to see them as they crest over the top. But you don't see how deep it is. You're looking off to the side and you see a few rocks, right? You see a few rocks. But then when you look at it from the Canada side, you see the magnitude of what it is. You see it drop. You see where it's going. And it's absolutely amazing to be able to see it. Now, with this, like we've talked a little bit about, that's where it makes a difference in leadership, is actually being able to see that stuff so you can guide your people to go in the right direction, right? You know what I'm saying? Where I'm coming from with this? Yeah, that's huge. Okay, if you don't change your view, that you don't ever see that. You don't ever know what's going on. You can't ever get that. You can't help your team getting better because you're constantly seeing the same view. So you need to put yourself in the trenches once in a while. You need to lift yourself out of the trenches and give yourself the 30,000, the 40,000, the space, the astronaut view of Niagara Falls. We were actually at 9/11 the other day, and there was a video that one of the astronauts shot that was from space during it. And he's like, yeah, y'all, I know that everybody in New York City is going through hell right now. Like, I get that, but y'all are still going to be okay. And you could actually see the soot and ash from the tower splashing in the footage we shot. That's how magnificent it is. That's what changing the view is. When you were down in the city, when you were down in the rubble during 9/11, I wasn't there, thank God. Or if you were there, you were covered in stuff from head to toe. Clothes were covered. They were covered in ash. There was so much debris. Everything was there, right? But once you changed your view, you got a different picture of it. You got to see what was really going on, okay? Changing your view makes the biggest difference in the world. All right, today I'm going to encourage y'all to get out there, get forged, change your view, and I want to know where you're going to change your view, and I want to know what you're going to do different tomorrow than what you were doing today to get a different view. All right, chat with you guys later. Bye.